control of positions prophetic. Honor to the apostles, the elders, salutations to youth, and sincere brothers, teaching truth and consistency.
Tonight's lesson is going to they have taken Crafty Council against our people. And they is referencing to the elites, wicked elites, the so-called Illuminati, the international bankers who come from the tabernacle of Edom. And that Crafty Council against our people is going to the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans. Because everything we see on TV and stuff like that is like a world stage. And this is all part of the elites enforcing this new world order. So expect more false stages, more false flags, things of that sort, because the more we get close to that, the more Esau's going to come everything out the trick bag. So we cannot be ignorant of Satan's devices, All right? So,
yeah, this is from naturalnews.com, and the article is entitled "Pharmacy Caught Dispensing Special Flu Fill in the Blank Just for Black People." This article was published on the 5th of January 2021. And it states a pro fill in the blank YouTube channel has inadvertently revealed. A pro vaccine YouTube channel has inadvertently revealed to the world that the vaccine industry offers different vaccines for people depending on their skin color. Alan Pan, who gets a thrill out of designing various vaccine weapons prototypes for shock value, discovered that his camerawoman Shania, who has dark skin, is skeptical of vaccines.
This girl Shania, she's a so-called black woman. So throughout this video, she's gonna be like real skeptical about getting vaccines. She's gonna go further to explain to why.
This prompted him to have a discussion with her on camera about her concerns. I don't think you should treat people who don't want to get vaccines or who are skeptical of vaccines like they are idiots. Shania told Pan during a recent segment on vaccine skepticism. I don't have a good enough track record of our government taking care of us, of doctors taking care of us, for me to feel comfortable that I'm not being experimented on, Shania explained. Let's just look into history. You got the Tuskegee Project. You have a radiologist who decided to radiate his patients. So I don't feel comfortable at all putting anything in my body where I know that they don't care about me.
It's really the spirit of her saying it, because as Israelites, even though she's saying this indirectly, it's in our spirit that we don't supposed to get anything like that foreign to our bodies. That's against the law, Leviticus 19th chapter. Go ahead.
After discussing the matter further with Pan, Shania ultimately agreed to go with him to a pharmacy to get a flu shot. The caveat being that Shania only wanted to go where the white people go, which is exactly what the two proceeded to do. Pan took Shania to a pharmacy in Beverly Hills where the two appeared to get vaccinated for influenza on camera. When it was time for Shania to receive hers, however, pharmacists pulled out a different vaccine just for blacks. Watch below.
Yep. So, of course, this video not played on YouTube because, they're banned. But when they went to this Beverly Hills pharmacy, it's an Asian dude. His name is Pan. So they gave him the regular vaccine shot. But when she came, the pharmacist gave her a different type. So who knows is he not? But at the same time, she's been silly as well. She went ahead and took it anyway, like all she stated, So this goes into how they taking Crafty Council against our people, man. Because they at least know exactly who we are. But it's a certain reason and a spiritual reason that why they're doing this to us, man, because they want to get that blessing back. It goes into the kingdom of heaven. That's good.
Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy trade.
Yeah, the knowledge starts with understanding the scriptures. And part of the understanding is knowing about the laws. It's the law in Leviticus 19th chapter tells us not to cut or make pricks into our skin. You know, but she, you know what I'm saying, went here and still got it anyway because she don't have that understanding. You know, she lacked that Holy Spirit, you know.
I can give on Amos 1:11 said, thus said the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Shai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment of, because he did pursue his brother with the sword and did cast off all pity, and his anger did carry perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. And see, the thing is with our people, you know, because you referred to the Tuskegee experiment and the radiation, you know, doctor, you know, use radiation on things, but the hatred for Esau goes way farther than that. All right, those are 2 accounts out of millions upon millions. All right, of Esau, Edom. All right, showing having a perpetual hatred for our people. Man, it goes back to the womb. You know, going back to Jacob and Esau. But see, when you don't have a spiritual understanding of your enemy, you know, that's not going to prevent you from still trusting in him, man. You see? So you see, she still trusts him because she don't understand how deep their hatred goes, you know, and who she's dealing with, man. Esau, that's why Esau wants to take that title, you know, off of them. You know, that's why it's part of his algorithm, you know, Esau, Edom, because that title, you know, exposes them to the fullest, man. You see? Yeah, that's right.
All right, this Genesis 3:15. It says, and I will put an enmity between thee and the woman.
Yeah, so the enmity is going to the Edomites and us as the Israelites. And the enmity really means to have a hatred. You know, it always goes back to that opposition. It's 2 opposing forces between the nation of Edom and the nation of Israel, you know. And it's not anything that Esau can do about it. It's just spiritually how Yahweh Hashem Shai and set up this movement, according to the book of Romans 9th chapter. The Edomites, they feel their role to be that vessel of dishonor or that vessel of wrath. You know, but they was made to do this particular deed, to be the wicked on the earth, to carry out havoc around the whole earth for a particular purpose. They the Most High's witness on, you know, witness stick, I mean. Okay.
It says, and between thy seed and her seed, it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel.
Isaiah 30:12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon.
Perverseness is anything that's outside the scriptures. It's contrary to the doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Shai. Like I said before, part of perverseness is breaking the law. So what she did right there by getting a syringe inside her body going to her flesh, by pricking her skin, that's going against the Levitical law. You know?
And she showed how she trusts in oppression, because this system is designed to oppress the nation of Israel. So although she knew not to take it, she still didn't go with her gut feeling and took it anyway.
And she listened to her spirit. She like kind of denounced. She knew it wasn't right. Her inside, you know, her spirit was saying, "Don't take it."
That's right.
But she said, "I'm gonna take it anyway." You know,
why women need guidance. You know, that's why, you know, man sets the standard. You know, a woman, like you said, is fickle. You know, to and fro. You know, she made a decision based on emotion and fear. You see, but a man is their strength. You know, and decisive. A woman is indecisive. You know.
This is Genesis 27:41. And Esau hated Jacob. This is Genesis 27:33. And it states, and Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest and have blessed him. Yea, and he shall be blessed.
And he is representing Jacob, you know, our forefather.
Verse 34, and when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother came with subtlety and have taken away thy blessing.
So subtlety goes to being sly or cunning. Going through the spirit, Jacob was doing this on the righteous side, you know. Likewise, subtlety.
And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob? For he hath supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said to Esau, Behold, I have made him thy Lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants. And with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are in hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
Experience inside these Edomites today. What the Most High is going to do as we get closer and closer to the time of Esau's rulership being over with, the more intensified Yahweh Bashem Shai is going to extract that hatred Esau has for us, man. You know?
Yeah, because that's the number one rivalry on earth is between Jacob and Esau. It's the ultimate rivalry of good versus evil. The house of David, versus the house, of Esau, beginning with Amalek, man. And that's what we see playing out in the earth, man. And it's going to get more and more intense. Esau's going to be more and more direct with it, as we get closer to the end, man. That's right. He got diseases, that's customized just for Jake, man. That's like you say, he had a different vaccine for her. It's customized just for our people, man. And following this, man, is going to lead to a horrible death in the near future, man.
And it goes to show you that Esau knows Jake's prototype.
Why?
Because best believe that vaccine is stronger than all these other vaccines given to include Esau and these other nations. Because we're special people.
And the word crafty, it goes into to be skilled. It goes into to learn. So you gotta know your enemies. So that's exactly what these Edomites do, especially the elites.
Yeah, this is Genesis. Back in Genesis 27:40, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck.
They was blessed with the sword. The elites, the left hand side. So the sword represents their military weapons. It goes into their biological warfare. Their tongue. Life and tongue. They speak those enticing words, man. Esau right now has the whole world social distancing, except for ruling. But at the same time, Esau, his tongue represents his witchcraft, his mainstream news, right? Where he can really entice people to believe a false narrative. Everybody would go along with it, man. Right? He's blessed with that sword, Right. And then you look at exactly. You look at the needle, the vaccine is shaped like a little sword, So Esau, he's blessed with that sword for a reason,
Right. Ecclesiastes 37:18. Four manner of things appear, good and evil, life and death, but the tongue rule over them continually.
That's it. Yeah. And since you brought that up, just back on what you said.
This is Psalm 140, verse 3. And it states, Thy have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips.
So any type of, his poison represents his democracy. His religions, his policies, anything that's adverse to Yahweh Bashem Shai, it's poison. And you're going to have a lot of our people that get bit by that poison, by that serpent. They're going to fall right into their own demise, man. By you trusting to this oppression. You put your staff upon, how it goes to Isaiah 36, verse 6.
Trust in the staff.
The broken reed, the support system, man, by trusting into this, man. So anytime you put your trust into something that's outside you, how Bashem Shai, it's going to lead you to your downfall.
I got it. Go ahead.
And it's Psalm 52 and verse 2.
Oh, yeah. You gave me that.
I'm sorry, one brother. Why boast thyself in mischief, almighty man? The goodness, the power, and do continue. Verse 2. The tongue is devising mischief like a sharp razor, working deceitful. Verse 3. Thou love the evil more.
Sharp razor is extremely sharp and quick.
Verse 3, thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than speaking righteousness. Salah.
Yep. So it's just how spiritually programmed that these Edomites are. They born to be estranged, to be the wicked from the womb, man. There's nothing they can do. They vessel dishonor for a particular reason. So you're a vessel dishonor, you're gonna do anything that's outside of morality, or just being, having anything dealing with integrity and things like that, or being righteous. They were just programmed to be that creative player to do wickedness upon this earth. And Yahweh Shah is gonna use this for a particular point in time to fulfill prophecies that they're gonna be wiped out. Shoot that. Yeah, 17:13.
The Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Most High. Psalm 17:13. Arise, O Most High. Disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul, which from the wicked, which is a sword.
Yeah. We're talking about the elites, man, starting with the elites of the tabernacle either. They represent that sword. They carry out all type of fashions dealing with we mentioned the mainstream news, the biological warfare, the military weapons. What else?
It's I say pharmaceutical.
Yeah, pharmaceutical industry, big pharma.
It's education system.
Education system. It's GMOs.
The music, entertainment.
Yeah.
Everything you name.
Really go back to Job 9:24.
Yeah.
He control everything.
Yeah.
Everything within this system.
Right.
Control.
Anything that you can get into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You feel like I can get into this.
Yeah.
Shit, he own that shit. He run it.
And
No matter what it is.
And since he's programmed to be the wicked on this earth, everything in this system is gonna be on that left hand side. It's left hand vibration, low frequency. Man.
If you want to be abstained in this society, you're gonna have to do some left hand thing. You know what I mean? It ain't gonna be no. I'm doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? Then you gonna be on the top, and everybody gonna lose you. Nah, that shit ain't set up like this.
Right, man. Because as us, as the hopeful elect, how we present our bodies as a living sacrifice, according to Romans the 12th chapter. On the left hand side, the millions that work for the elites, they gotta do that as well. They gotta do more wicked type of deeds, sacrifices to get more power through Satan. So it's all a perfect balance with you. How about Shah dealing with the good and the evil?
Just two sides. Just two sides.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just you said that, because we always get Job 9:24. When you keep reading, Job 9:24 said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is it? And that's a big indicator, because Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the only race of people, they painted themselves to be the prophets, the Messiah, the Heavenly Father, the angels. They put their faces on the judges, the men that were supposed to be rulers, of the earth. They painted the likeness of their image, and that was an indicator of who the wicked was. Now, verse 25, it says, "Now my days are swifter than a post. They flee away. They see no good." Yeah, because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and he turned things that's supposed to be life into death. Sex is supposed to bring life. He infused death into that.
Right.
Food supposed to bring life. He infused death into that. Air supposed to be life. Everything that he has did, music. He infused death into music. Music supposed to bring life. Going back to the heart, getting the demons outside, keep you very hard. Yeah. Even the wine, the fire, the wine, the strong drink.
Yeah, but all those things out there, but he got the machine behind him where he make his shit be the right line. You know what I mean? Because all those things that you saying, it's some righteous stuff out there, like where you have to search it at, through the Holy Spirit to find your way. You know about the earth now. You know about the good wine. You know what I mean? You don't drink Mad Dog 2020 no more. You know about the good music. You know what I mean? You detach yourself from the hip hop shit that that fuck you up. You know what I mean? That have you in a demonic state. Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's really up to that person's spirit, because it's out here. You know what I mean?
But overall,
but they push it to the masses hard. You know what I mean? You right.
Everything is tainted.
They run that shit.
Ain't nothing pure except the word. That's the only thing pure. heard the word. Everything else is a file in some form.
And that's why you gotta get the best out of words, whether it's the music you listen to.
Yeah, you gotta know. You gotta know though.
Yeah. You know, hey, can I bring out something real fast? And this is Micah 6:2. For the rich man thereof are full of violence, and the inhabitants thereof have spoken lies, and their tongue is deceitful in their mouth. Yeah, because hey, look at the story the brother had brought out, you know, to open up the lesson. So basically, Esau had set up a special Maxine for Jake.
Just for Jake.
Just for Jake. But meanwhile, you get on the fucking news and you're saying that, look, hey, the so-called Negroes, the so-called Hispanics, and the so-called Native Americans, look, hey, the first shall be last.
Yeah,
you in the scriptures to receive this so-called Maxine, which is going to bring people what? To their deaths, man. And hey, for anybody that go down there, I don't give a fuck if it's your mama, your brother, your sister, your child. Hey, it serves them right, man. Because there's no excuses, man. And the prophets are out there prophesying, letting you know that this is the way to death. You know, so at the end of the day, you got history events. Then you had this old Jake today, basically talking about, you know, with the Tuskegee thing.
He said rebuilding the trust that Tuskegee destroyed.
Yeah. So they putting Jake out there to manipulate Jake.
Yeah. And the thing about it, we ain't never been first at nothing.
No.
Nothing.
Now we first to get the best.
We first to get
the vaccine.
Oh, it's affecting us more than anything. No, it's not. Y'all want us to get this shit because y'all want to kill off the lowest people. That's it. That's all it really is. It's all about.
What's the real true reason? So they can what?
The birthright.
The birthright.
Exactly, man.
This whole thing is about the birthright. And this people don't understand why we can't never get along with them. We would never get along with them.
And they've been doing dirty shit since the
That's
the birthright. So imagine all those years and all that time and add up all the dirty shit they did, man.
Yeah,
that's like them hundreds of thousands of years, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, cause you know when
he's probably about 12,000.
Right, 12,000 years, right?
Yeah.
Straight, I'm talking about every day, you know what I mean? Every hour, they, you know what I'm saying? It's steady coming. And we see it now. They use their news and their media and stuff. We see this shit right now today.
That's their tongue.
Yeah, man. This is Psalm 83. And it states this is a psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O power, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
That tumult goes to like a commotion. So they be in their different secret meetings. They all conspiring, going to their conspiracy theory. How can we continue to keep these people down, the Israelites? You know what I'm saying? They all be thinking about different plans. You know what I'm saying? What you have in mind? What you have in mind? You know, they be going out and talking order how they're going to destroy the Most High's people, man.
Once they encourage themselves in the evil manner.
Yeah, that's cool.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head. Meaning what? They in a control seat. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against our people and consulted against our hidden ones.
God.
They have,
so that we know the word crafty goes to like skill and deception. You know what I'm saying? You know, you gotta be learned. So you gotta be artistic to know about your enemies. So that's a couple ways that they are crafty. You know, it goes to let's continue to make foods that's against their law to be more affordable, and let's set it as a delicacy according to them. You know what I'm saying? Or let's separate the men out of the household and let's set up the woman and raise her up to be over the children so they can have a dysfunctional family. You know, let's set up abortion clinics in their neighborhoods. What's the more thing?
Liquor stores in their
liquor stores.
Or put foods and say that they don't have pork and shit, but then when you look at the pork is in the shit.
But the case, pork case. It's a beef sausage, but it got pork casing on it. That's retarded, right?
Yeah. And hey, let's get on black culture. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And let's set up false leaders that will continue to misguide them. Man.
Like a Tupac or some shit like that. Dude, like, hey, everybody out here going crazy, man.
They glorify, you know, the mob, they glorify the cartel,
super
glorify,
flat.
you know,
that
drug,
Snoop Dogg, everybody bitches, hoes and shit. You know what I'm saying though? That was a bad vibration for me coming up. You know what I'm saying? Every woman I saw was a bitch or a hoe. You know what I mean? I know that ain't the truth, but I was like, hey, Snoop Dogg, you know what I'm talking about?
So when the last
drinking gin and juice and shit, they had fucked us up, man. You hear me though? Huh? Right.
So one of the other things how they did Crafty Council was the smallpox blanket. I don't go into that little winner because it was the Hudson Bay. It was based in Canada. So what Esau did with the indigenous people over there in Canada, they use these smallpox, blankets or whatever with the British. So it says the iconic Hudson's Bay Point blanket has a complicated history with indigenous people in Canada. These blankets first appeared in Canadian trading posts in the 1700s, and aside from bedding, they also served as a form of currency and were fashioned into robes. But they took on a darker history, with rumors swirling that they were used to spread smallpox among First Nations in the 1700s and the 1800s. And check this point out right here. It says a research that I have looked through said there were letters apparently that were found, and it was the commander-in-chief of British forces in North America by the name of Geoffrey Amherst in 1763 that encouraged the use of blankets infected with smallpox as a means of biological warfare. So these British troops, they was like writing out different messages, letters to each other, and they was referring to the so-called Native Americans as vermin. Anything about vermin is like a nuisance of a pest.
Yeah, like a rat or some shit like that, or mice or some shit like that, raccoons.
Yeah, they destroy crops and stuff like that. But in these letters, they was referring to Gad as vermin. So these are different letters right here. These British forces work to each other. And this is for an article from medium.com, and it says, yes, white Europeans purposely infected Native Americans with smallpox. It says this is not a matter of opinion. This is a matter of public record. Purposeful infection of Native Americans with smallpox is one of several necessary means that white European settlers used in a deliberate, concerted effort to drive us into extinction. Among the damning evidence are letters written in 1763 between the officers of the British military detailing plans to send a plague upon the vermin to eradicate them. And it says right here,
that word vermin. It's the definition for vermin. All right, in the Google, which is how you spell it, VERMIN. It says wild animals that are believed to be harmful to crops, farm animals, or game, or they carry disease, rodents. And it says parasitic worms or insects. It says people perceived as despicable and as causing problems for the rest of society.
So I was looking at the so-called Native Americans because they pretty much want to bow down to them, man. They kept fighting them off. They were being resilient through the spirit. So it was like a pest or a nuisance to these British forces. So this is one letter right here. This guy named Colonel Henry Bouquet. He wrote this in June the 23rd, 1763. He says, the reinforcement you have ordered this way is considerable about the additional numbers of officers, will fully enable me to crush the little opposition they may dare to offer along the road and ensure the part of the country against all their future attacks. Till you think proper to order us to act in conjunction with the rest of your forces to exterminate that vermin from a country they have forfeited, and with it all to claim the rights of humanity. So this is another continued letter. It says, I have no pretension to be a judge in Indian affairs, but I should be sorry we should ever appear to be under the best obligation to the perfidious Cherokees. And as to the Catawba, they are no more a nation. I would rather choose the liberty to kill any savage that may come in our way than to be perpetually doubtful whether they are friends or foes. So that's that Crafty Council, saying they about to get ready to formulate with these smallpox blankets. And as you know, that took out a lot of our people, man, so-called Native Americans from the tribe of Gad. And this is one letter right here. It says, I would try to inoculate the Indians by means of blankets that may fall in their hands.
Said inoculate, and that's the same terminology that they use for the vaccine, man.
And that's from a guy named Colonel Henry Bouquet, and he wrote that on July the 13th, 1763. So he says, I would try to inoculate the Indians by means of blankets that may fall in their hands. taking care, however, not to get the disease myself. As it is a pity to oppose good men against them, I wish we could make use of the Spaniards' method and hunt them with English dogs, supported by rangers and some light horse, who will, I think, effectively extirpate or remove that vermin. And extirpate goes into to eradicate, to annihilate it. That's exactly what they did to the tribe of Gad, man. By that Crafty Council, by using those smallpox blankets, man.
Yeah.
So these same people is here today in the process called reincarnation. They back fulfilling them same wicked deeds, man. When you got 2/3 of our people still gonna trust into this shit, and you see the history, what they did to our people, man. That's a damn shame. Like, then y'all still want to trust into oppression. You got the old ass Jake talking about, even though what they did to us on the Tuskegee experiment, we still gonna forgive you and have trust into you, man. And they have wiped us out as a people, man. But you still won't put their trust into the so-called white man. But go ahead, because the Most High wants you all in that type of spirit, so it can be justified by destroying your ass, man.
Especially that you 2 different fucking vaccines, and you fucking niggas go down and take that shit. So something wrong with you niggas, man.
Yeah, man.
You need to get hit across the head. Oh, this is yours. This is ours. 2 different. You niggas still gonna take that shit. I'm mad now.
Yeah, man.
And the Most High gave you all kind of signs with the prophets, history, and even hell, Esau's tongue falls upon himself, and you still believe in the system,
But a nigga can tell you all the stats.
Yeah.
Nigga tracking his PlayStation 5. Well, Jake gonna track they stimulus check. How the fuck you do that?
Yeah.
So, yeah, mine gonna be here tomorrow. So Jake ain't got no excuse, because Jake diligent in what the fuck he wanna be diligent.
Yeah.
So Jake is on Jake, man.
Yeah.
All right. If Jake gotta eat, his auntie, his son, that's on him. He put himself in that position, man.
And that's the same Jake was saying, hey, let his blood be on us and our children, man. So fuck Jake, man.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
I appreciate it.
All right, can I bring this out real
No,
fast? Hey, you remember the old Jake Tuskegee, right? Hey, this is for him. Proverbs 16:31. The hoary head is a crown of glory.
Yeah.
If it be found in the way of righteousness.
Yeah, man. These old ass niggas, and especially a guy like that, he grew up in the civil rights era and all that. So he experienced how they treated us back then.
Right. He know that they'll fuck him up.
Yeah, so
right now today. You
and
know what I mean?
That what gets me, man. Like, these type of niggas like this, they call them the baby boomers, that generation, like they was literally around that type of time frame, man. They saw when we couldn't go to the same restrooms or restaurants.
She was segregating.
Yeah.
Whites on the water fountain.
Exactly.
Like that.
So you witnessed this with your own eyes, but you still gonna put your trust in this damn devil, man.
Yeah, 20, they seen a 15-year-old Edomite call their granddad a boy. Yeah. Jake seen that, man. They should be more fired up than anybody. Right. Hearing of this word, but like how I said, he gave that wisdom to babes, man. All right.
And my dad is in that spirit. My dad don't like them motherfuckers. He can't stand them. And my niece put a post and she like, I hate them. My dad hate them red people.
Well,
and she mean Edomite.
Wow.
So it's how they are. I mean, my dad 77 years old. He's seen it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So he know he experienced it his own way.
How they are.
Just to back y'all up, this is Genesis 49:9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down, he couched as a lion, and as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? Because like back in the day, at one time, during the 60s, Judah knew who the white man was as far as being the enemy. And now they don't became relaxed within this system, and now they trying to be buddy, join hand in hand. But at the same time frame, this is the same enemy that was hanging your ass during the 16, 17, and 1800s.
Yeah, so they like that old line, crouch down. So Esau gave you those gifts, man. You probably got nice salaries.
And domesticated.
Yeah, domesticated. That's a great word for it.
Now Jake bunny hopping. And then you got a lion bunny hopping, man. Right. Like you a circus lion now, man. It's on Revelation 12:10. It says, I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power, the power of his anointing for the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
Yeah, because basically what they do, they pray to the Most High on the left hand side, utilizing their riches and their warlocks, and they're saying, "Look at your people. They're thugs. They're eating pork. They believe in Jesus Christ, and etc. and etc." You know, but you created this system, and this system is designed to cause our people to live in error, which is what? Which is sin. And the only way we got to be righteous is in the kingdom of heaven. You know, but then you got a nigga like Nas talking about we are under what? The second covenant. How so? When you still get your fucking hairline. Okay, when we get the second covenant, hey, basically we're going to be programmed righteous. And that's not going to happen until the elect is beamed up in their chariot. Because basically prior going into their chariot, hey, you have to shed that simple flesh. Okay, then you get the new body as you're going inside that chariot, man.
So yeah, he's the accuser of our brother, man. You know, go back to you watch different videos of Jake in the Hoods, and they'll show you like a train, a train. You know, we have different type of military guns in there. Then Esau blame him, or it's a war, war on violence or whatever.
Yeah, it's a war on drugs.
Yeah,
you know, and then like the people that said war on drugs, Reagan and Daddy Bush, them were the biggest dope boy in history, man.
Yeah.
You know, they flooded America, man. What do you think you get? Boston, George, Freeway, Ricky Ross.
Right.
They were serving them.
They flew.
Yeah, they really just running. Like what Jake look at the cartel and the man in the hood, they just runners for the CIA, man.
Even the cartel. Watch Kill the Messenger. You know, they showed you how the CIA employed fucking Freeway, man.
Right. Self-made.
And then on the flip side, they give to black culture, then we'll be listening to these same people. Rick Ross. It's a rapper named Boston George. You know what I'm saying? So you know, whoever else, Montana, hell yeah, all of them.
Rapper stuff.
Right.
It's that whole thing.
Some shit they created. Is some shit they created, and then they created some more shit. You know what I mean? That is all for Jake. They created Ricky Ross. They created him. And then they turned around and gave him to the black culture community, and now he's singing this shit. You know?
Yeah, it's a champ.
Yeah.
I got a precept too.
So that's what Woe gave his neighbor that bottle, man.
That's the precept I got. This is Habakkuk 2:15. It says, "Woe unto him that giveth his neighbor drink, and putteth that bottle to him, and maketh him drink."
Yeah, so that bottle represents anything that's Esau entices our people with that's adverse to Yahweh Shem Shai. And, you know, which it causes our people to sin. The wages of sin is death, man. So that black culture, that nigger culture, you know what I'm saying? Anything that Esau pushes out there heavy upon our people, that's like witchcraft upon them, and cause you to err from Yahweh Shem Shai. That's what these elites want to do, man. Anything they can do within their power, they want to just continue to keep us astray from Yahweh Shem Shai. But you can't do that to the hopeful elect.
They spiritually intoxicated.
Exactly.
You know, and once you're spiritually intoxicated, you still you're outside of the ways or the mannerisms of Yahweh Shem Shai by that strong drink.
Yeah.
You know,
basically how you say mannerism, how people follow the fashion in this world.
Yeah. You know? Instead of going to the old path, Jeremiah 6:16. You know.
Let me finish it. He said they put it that bottle to him and making him drunk it also. That thou made it looking on their nakedness.
Going back to the precept we got you about out. Then they go back and pray and say, "Hey, look at your people doing.
They doing this. They doing this. They shooting up everybody every day on the news. But don't nobody in the white towns on nothing. Yeah, right, man. You know what I'm saying? That shit can't be true. But when we look at the news tonight at 10, they're gonna show Jake on there just shooting up everything, killing over here, killing over there. You ran from the police, car chase, you know what I'm saying? But we go to the white folks part of time, don't shit happen. It's just like they living in Pleasantville, like that movie. You seen that movie Pleasantville?
No, I haven't seen
it. Yeah. But don't shit happen in Pleasantville.
Or how they'll sell these, liquor stores in Jake's neighborhoods. Of course, Jake get drunk or whatever. Then the Esau, they'll be having traffic stops.
Yeah, roadblock right there, right by the club. They know Jake finna leave. The direction Jake, where Jake houses it, they know. You gotta go across these train straight to get to Jake neighborhood. They gonna be sitting right there.
Yeah.
Like shit, you been drinking.
Right.
You know we been drinking. You just seeing the cars up here at this spot. You been passed by 4 or 5 times. Like I'm gonna get that car right there. That red car, man. That blue car, you know. Yeah. Betting on shit like that because that's what they do, man. Crafty shit.
God, hey, Psalm 10 and 8. He sit in the lurking places of the villages, in the secret places do he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Yeah. You know? He used this system to design his attacks. You know, and the reason why shit don't pop up with Esau because we're in his fucking blessing. Okay, he is blessed to do and excel within his blessing. That's the reason why he's able to operate on the fashion he does by controlling this entire world with this beast-like system. So that same hell that we're catching, he's gonna catch that in the kingdom of heaven, but double.
And because they police Jake neighborhoods and Esau neighborhood different. See, with Esau stays a 0 tolerance. You see, they don't get that shit like what they can do in the projects in the hood. Right. If you go to the prison, not the prison, but let's say you get arrested, you know, in one of these little Edomite towns. You know, I had sheriffs tell me, say, you gotta take your ass across the bridge and do that shit you doing.
Right.
Because they already that shit don't go.
That happened to me.
Jay scared to come over and do that shit because they know it's different rules. See, in Jackson, like where we get, you know, which is nothing like a little Chicago, all of them the same. It's a different name, different, you know, population of people. But that shit a war zone. You know, Jay can do a drive-by, go to jail, get out 2 weeks later.
Right, it's real lean.
Yeah, it's like that on purpose. Yeah, you see, but Jay keep following the same trap. At the point of time, okay, it's Esau. We know what the source is, and then Jake keep following the same goddamn trap, and you got Jake that don't want to leave the hood. Jake 40 years old, don't want to leave goddamn hood, man. Got to be around that shit.
Well, move out and go back.
Yeah, move out and still gotta go hang out there every day. So you, Jake, you gotta wise your ass up, man. You know.
Hey, Con, you know, you have it down. They're spinning.
Yeah, on the highway.
On the highway.
Yeah,
the highway.
Yeah. And guess what? And I guess one of Rankin, I heard somebody from Rankin say they want to do this shit over here. They want to do that over here because they know they're gonna get maybe 40 years for doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So we are down like broke down Jackson.
So it's a war zone. You know,
they big and on the turn themselves in. That's what JPD doing. You know what I'm saying? Like Jake gonna turn themselves in. You know.
All right, back in the article, at around 2:50 in the video, Shania is heard ejecting the black Maxine and telling the pharmacist to give her the good one. Pan is then heard acknowledging that the situation is weird, to which Shania responds back that they got to be different, referring to the 2 jabs. You better include this in the video that they tried to give me a different type of vaccine, Shania then says to Pan, who laughs in response. The spectacle was apparently meant to show that vaccines are safe and effective and to reassure Pan's viewers that they need not worry about the new Wuhan vaccine virus.
Because this guy Pan, you know, he's a goop. You know, but at the same time, he's like a pro-vaccine, you know. But at the same time, that shit, how about Shah allowed that incident to happen?
Right.
The truth can actually come out.
That's right. Yeah. That are being peddled as part of President Donald Trump's Operation Warp Speed program. In the end, however, the charade produced the opposite outcome by drawing attention to the fact that the medical establishment is not treating everyone equally when it comes to vaccination. Depending on a person's race or ethnic background, he or she could receive a different vaccine than the one someone else receives. This is especially concerning as billionaire eugenicist Bill Gates openly admits, along with his wife Melinda, that he wants to see Black people put to the front of the line for China virus jabs.
Like Taz want to say earlier, you know, we've been last in this whole setup since we pretty much got here, man.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden they want to be the willing participants or candidates
guinea pigs
for this vaccine now. So that should raise a question to you right there. Like, well, hold up now. We always been set up last, dealing with the housing market, different loans, things of that sort, jobs, but now they want us first in line to receive this vaccine.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Got you, bro. Hey, Job 13:4, but ye are forgers of lies, ye are all physicians of no value.
That word forge goes to plaster, man. So what Esau does with his propaganda machine is circulate nothing but lies, man. And so that's why they call themselves doctors, which means to falsify. Yeah. So anything they do is dealing with this medical field. Anything dealing with big pharma is all lies. If you come against this big pharma, they'll take down your videos, man. They'll kill you. There's many doctors over the years, holistic doctors came out and talked about the different things going on with big pharma. They've been wiped out.
That's right. There ain't no coincidence. Ain't no such thing as no coincidence. So.
And this is 1 Timothy 6:12. O Timothy, keep that which is committed to thy trust, avoiding profane and vain babblings and oppositions of science, falsely so called. Yeah, because at the end of the day, oppositions, when you look that up according to the Greek, it goes into theory. And when you define theory, it means to see one's view. So what the elite bankers are doing is they're trying to make Jake see the importance of taking a vaccine. However, this vaccine will lead you to your death. And this is also being classified as science, falsely so-called, according to the scriptures, because at the end of the day, we're supposed to use the herbs. We have physicians, but the healing comes from who? Yahweh Shem. And then he'll activate that mercy upon the physician, so the physician can heal you through the herbs.
This is 3:1.
All right, this Psalms 64:3. It says, "Who with their tongues like a sword and bend their bows and shoot their arrows, even bitter words."
Their tongue, wearing their tongues, like going to, the different policies, they sign or whatever. Their democracy, those enticing words. Anything Esau does out there is like witchcraft, man. So it was like they wearing their tongue, they sharpen it like a sword. And the scriptures say that his tongue is like the death adder, which it includes poison, but it's venom.
That's getting worse, like where like you say, like it's sharp as a sword. Because it started with, with the rap music, gangster rap, but then look how it evolved, man. Now Jake is a damn tranny.
Yeah.
To a damn junkie.
Yeah.
It went from, they were literally masculine back then. But now, you got junkie training, man.
Yeah.
So they're swore and got sharper and sharper.
They putting it on you. Like you barely touch it, you can't listen to it that much. This shit gonna hit your ears and you're gonna be, you know what I mean?
So it started with that, that hardcore type of, nigga culture, that thug culture. Now you got Jake. What's that dude? His video went viral. He had that
with the dress on.
With the dress on.
I ain't even try to know his name. Yeah.
So he went from that to this, man. Yeah. So everything's just getting worse in this.
Young Thug had the dress on this album cover. Let me think. Hold on. Hold on. It says that they shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly they shoot at him and not fear. And the perfect is, the righteous. And they shoot at him they shoot at him in secret at the perfect.
Well, you can apply that to the nation of Israel.
Come.
Because our entire nation was,
that was righteous at one point.
And this whole system is designed to destroy the entire nation. But I get what you're saying. But the perfect is actually talking about the entire nation of Israel.
Like I said, still, bro. Last week, my boy told me, his girl told him, because she worked for UMC. UMC? No, UMC production. Well, she worked in the hospital with trust. I went back now, really. But she said it's two different types of vaccines. That's right. So,
validity in there.
Yeah, so,
that's it. You got your time?
It's just 3-1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
You know, it's going to Esau, man. So that spirit, Esau is like that serpent. You know, it's cunning. You know, it's sly. You know what I'm saying? What he does, he's very skilled in his deception, man. Right. So what he's doing, he's taking crafty counsel against the wicked, dealing with his new world order. So he's going to set up all these false narratives, these false flags, in order to formulate this new world order. So they got to keep pushing out that negative vibration in order for them to try to at least to achieve this new world order, man.
It's your time. You know, just to back you up, hey, you know, like what we're saying today, these stage events,
right?
But they're getting real reactions from the public.
Right.
All this shit is staged. You mean to tell me motherfuckers don't take over the Capitol
Yeah.
and just sit down, goddamn. Meanwhile, they take over the Capitol, and then you got a picture of, I don't know who they are, but you got two Edomites with guns just waiting.
Right.
It doesn't make sense. You got to start questioning this type of shit.
And like I stated earlier, like that movie Queen of Slim, you know what I'm saying? Where they, you had a lot of people protesting for their cause. You have actual little Jake. He actually believed in that shit. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he died for it, but you know he killed old dude, the police officer. So you got these regular Joe Sixpacks, you know, Edomites or whatever. They actually gonna believe in this shit, man. They gonna fight for this cause and die for it, man.
You can't tell them 50-year-old, them 60-year-old people that sit there and watch the news all day. This shit ain't real. They gonna be like. That shit is real. You gonna need to plan there arguing with them. They trying to make them tell you that it ain't real. They gonna be like, that's stage, man. I just be like, yeah. I had to listen to that dumb shit all day because I work around Jake when they walk up and you seen the news. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I can't just be like, that shit ain't real. You know what I'm saying? Because they gonna go tell my manager and shit. Because I done offended them. You know what I mean? You had to be smart with this thing to, you know, maneuver through it. But at the same time, there's a lot of people out here gonna get caught up in that bullshit, man, that they watching on the news.
Yeah, like this Black Lives Matter movement. We know that the elites set it up, but at the same time, you got people that actually believe in that shit.
Man,
you know
they got their fists pumped up, and you say that shit ain't real. We'll be in a fight, man. You know what I'm talking about? They like a fight come with.
Kind of like Power. You know, so-called Ghost was killed by his son, Michael Rain. But you got people really hate Michael Rain in real life because he actually killed Ghost on the stage, goddamn it, miniseries, man. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah. People don't know how to extract the reality from, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, just going to that word something, you know, goes to like how Esau, he's cunning, you know, why he does his wicked plots and schemes. That's why King David stated in the book of Psalms, I want to say 140 chapter, 141st chapter, I keep you from the snares of the wicked, the jinns, you know, they different traps, the different setups, man. So when we seeing on TV, all this stuff, I always remember that Esau, he's doing this for a cause. So expect more false flags or false narratives so they can go ahead and force this new world order, man. It has to be done.
Okay, so this Deuteronomy 32 and 33, it said their wine is the poison of dragons and the cruel venom of asps.
You know, that wine going to, you know, his democracies, you know, his policies, you know, his religions, his enticing words he uses in his speeches to entice the whole world to follow his mandates,
media,
his black culture. You know, going to anything Esau pushes out, you know, against Yahweh Shah. It's like a venom, you know, so it's poisonous.
Like that scary tactic, you know, especially when that COVID came out, you know.
They were hitting the hole right there.
Kept running ass to the store and buying all the
tissue, all the goddamn toilet paper.
And what's COVID in now?
Yeah.
They ain't talking about COVID today because there's some more shit going on right now. Ain't nobody got no masks on. What the masks is it? Everybody in the White House taking over.
Everybody got the COVID.
3 weeks later, because of this, the COVID numbers gonna spike back up.
Right, everybody got COVID.
Bill said, so that's how he take Crafty Council against our people, man. So Lord, one of y'all is edified. So we like to give all the glory again to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, Hashem, Kakadash.
Govern us again to our apostles, the elders, great millstones, salutations to our sincere Akim. Y'all stay strong. Shalom.
Shalom.